reforming of the ranks?
Well, how I see it, we've won a battle. We've just got to win the war now, and that's a longer term process.
Yeah, what does that look like? What does that?
Well, we've got the Port Future study to deal with first, and you know, it's one of those things. Is it going to be one? Is it going to be listened to? Is it going to have a result that is appropriate? Now, with the sort of new awakening of what's happening down there, and our organisation, as I said, we've started a incorporated society for protection of Auckland harbours, SPA. We will be working on developing information that is, putting another perspective on the whole port infrastructure. And if there's the wrong process in coming to conclusions, it's going to be, again, it could easily be a self-serving study.
Okay.
One, is that the best use of prime waterfront land? And we would argue it's probably not.
Well, it's also the question of too is what's the 50-year scenario,
and then 100
year, the longer term, and
yeah.
then how do we get to there?
Yeah.
And I think that was like for Michael and I, we both went into this thinking, no, we were not against the ports being there. I mean, I in Auckland personally was against having the view shaft blocked from Queen's Wharf and the subsequent effects of that on the development of Queen's Wharf. So we came from quite a narrow scenario. Michael came more from a yachting point of view. What you say?
I mean, I am a yachty, but I came from the point of view this is not the right thing.
Yes.
This is a retrograde step. It's
sort
of something you do in the
harbour.
1950s.
Yes.
Right, and we're actually in the 21st century. It's a very old way of doing something. And also, I think the key thing, which so many people from so many different walks of life have said to me, is the way in which it was done.
Yes.
I call it in a euphemistic way, the legal gymnastics. There's, for a public entity to go through the legal gymnastics, and for the consenting regime, the Auckland Council, to consent to all of that, is just not right.
I haven't heard to date where a national port strategy comes into this port's future strategy. And I think that input on a governmental level is important because it just has to tie in with the other ports in this country. And
well, I think that is a weakness of this port future study, in that it is, in a way, it's myopic, isn't it? It's just looking at one port.
Have you got input leverage in there? Are you built in as part of the Mayor's working party?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're definitely going to be a vocal part of it. That's all I can say.
Whether he likes it or not.
Inside the tent or outside.
Yeah, so...
If they're going to ask how can we make the port more economically viable, that's going to have a different outcome from is this the best use of prime waterfront land? Yes, exactly. And I imagine Phil's, or I can tell you, Phil's his perspective is quite different from our current mayor, who doesn't really seem to have a perspective. It's a study, the Port Future Study. There's a plenary meeting on July the 9th.
Of all interested
parties. So, Fonterra, Ports, Wholesome, us, community groups, business groups, environmental groups, all those sorts of things.
Right, and from that point,
so a very broad church.
There'll be a working group elected.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Oh well, you guys.
And how that gets distilled is
unknown. Yeah. I mean, the staggering. I mean, there's what? It's going to be 100 people there. Do we take a straw poll or what? I don't know. You can find it. You can also go to our stopstealingourharbour.co.nz website, and there's a donate button that takes you through to the Give a Little page. That's probably the easiest way to do it.
Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.